Hello there guys, my name is MrYorkiesWorld, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I have got something very exciting to share with you. Courtesy of my good friend Dominic Smith and the team over at FlightSim.com, I have been blessed with access to the preview build of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and I'm extremely excited to share it with you on the channel here today. So in this particular video, I'm not going to be doing anything too spectacular, like a full flight, for example. We're literally just going to be going through and exploring a few locations within the simulator, along with taking a look at some of the amazing scenery and weather effects that come as part of this amazing simulator. Now, while you're watching this video, feel free to send me a request in the comments section if you'd like to see a particular area shown off within the sim, and I'll do my best to accommodate in an upcoming video. There's going to be plenty of content now the simulator is within my clutches, or at least the preview build. There's going to be plenty of content coming to the channel, so feel free to use the comments section to send me some requests. Now, I do want to do some night flights as well at some stage, because the night lighting in this sim looks absolutely fantastic, so look out for that as well. Now, please do bear in mind that this simulator is indeed still in a pre-release version, and so a lot of things can and probably will change before the official release date of the 18th of August 2020, but without further ado, let's get straight into this absolutely fantastic new simulator. And here we go. Welcome, everybody, to the amazing new interface that is Microsoft Flight Simulator. As you can see, we've got MrYorkiesWorld up in the top right. That's my gamer tag or username. We've got activities. We've got like landing challenges. We've got flight training if you want to learn how to fly the Cessna 152. We've got some more challenges up here, landing challenges. And we've got the world map. So essentially this is going to be like an introduction to the sim, and what I'm going to tell you is this is absolutely revolutionary. So the first thing we're going to do, if you wanted to just jump straight in and start making content, such as flights or you know, cinematic videos and things like that, because let's face it, the camera system on this, if you've not noticed already, is absolutely fantastic as well. It actually involves the ability to use an Xbox controller for the camera, which I'm going to go into in a little while. But let's just jump straight in. I'm going to show you the basics of setting up a flight. So we go to World Map, and we're presented with the World Map screen. Now this is basically the flight planning sort of screen is what I would call it. We've got the globe. You can zoom in and zoom out. We can explore all the different sort of airports. We've also got landmarks as well, which will be visible. Let's have a look down here. Houses of Parliament. So that's the Houses of Parliament. We've got the O2 Arena and things like that. You can zoom in and zoom out, like I said, and choose anything that you want. For today's video, I'm going to go with the TBM 930 because it's an aircraft that I've been trying to learn as best I can. So, for the purpose of this video, that's what we're going to be using. There are indeed plenty of other aircraft, 20 aircraft in total. Again, the final version of this simulator will have more aircraft to choose from, but this is only the preview, so we've only got 20, and the two airliners are the Boeing 747-8 Intercontinental and the Airbus A320neo. But again, for the sake of this, we're just going to go with the TBM 930. So, let's say I wanted to go over and choose an airport for departure. Just for the sake of it, I'm going to go up here and type in the ICAO code, Echo Golf Charlie November, because that is for Doncaster Sheffield Airport, which is my local airport. And it's already automatically set it as a departure, so we don't need to set that. It'll show you the winds, so 270 at 5 knots, and if we zoom in a little bit more, my understanding is that when this little dot is green, that is the active runway, so we can see the active runway at the moment based on, let me just make sure this is live time and weather, is runway 20. And what I will do, I am going to set the time a little bit earlier in the day because we want to see as much detail as we can. So we can just set it like that. You can set the month, the day, the year. You can select whether you want live weather. We've got clear skies, few clouds, scattered clouds, broken clouds, high level, overcast, rain, snow, or storm. Now all of these are also customizable, and you can set your own custom weather as well, and you can mess around with those, including the time and date and everything as well, inside of the simulator, which is while you're actually, you know, doing your flights. That's even better. So I'm going to click live weather at the top there. There we go. Let's go back. I'm not going to select any particular route. We're just going to literally spawn at Doncaster, Sheffield, and I'm going to take off and show you the simulator in action. What you can do though, if you click back onto the aircraft, you've got the aircraft selection page, which we've selected the TBM. You can select liveries, so if there's any more liveries for this aircraft once the simulator is actually released, they will be listed here. We can edit the weight and balance, so for example fuel, we can set it to 50%, 100%. It'll tell you here in red if there is any issues with your payload and weight. Obviously that must be because it's we're using the max allowable fuel, so we don't really want to do that. For the sake of this video, let's just set it back to 50. You can choose to display it as gallons or pounds. I'll just leave it at gallons for now. We've got the centre of gravity information here, so obviously you can see a diagram, which is pretty nice. You can also include information such as how much payload you're taking with you. You can choose whether or not the fuel is split evenly, or whether there's more in one side than there is the other, which obviously that would more than likely cause some sort of imbalance, so we're going to leave that at 50%. And again, total max takeoff weight, payload slash max payload, fuel slash max. We've got all this information there if you're interested in that. Failures, you can enable or disable certain failures. So we've got oil system, we've got oil leak, fuel pumps, ignition, fire, things like that. And you can also choose, for example, if we wanted a complete failure, we could turn that on and we could arm it to sort of fail within a certain amount of time, or it can just be failed from the get-go. ATC options then. So tail number, call sign, I'm going to put Yorkie in the call sign, and we're going to go with Yorkie 12 Bravo. If it'll actually type in 12 Bravo, there we go. You can choose to show the tail number and also append heavy to the call sign if you're a heavy aircraft, which we're not. The ideal thing is, with this, the ATC runs from Asobos, or is it the Azure cloud, but you can also set it to use speech packs that are installed in Windows 10, so if you've got text-to-speech, so literally you can type anything in here and it will read out the correct word, so it will actually say Yorkie 12 Bravo when the ATC is calling. We're not really going to use ATC that much today, just for the purposes of this video, but it is there, the option is there. So we've selected the aircraft, we can just close this. We've got where we are on the world map, which is going to be at Doncaster, Sheffield. We've got the flight conditions set, and we've set the time to 12:43 PM local time. So I'm going to click fly, and this is going to load up the flight. And it is truly magnificent, this simulator. Takes a few seconds, it can take a few minutes depending on what it is you're loading, or how big the airport is and how complex the scenery is and stuff. Shouldn't take too long because we're not technically going to a very large airport. Doncaster Sheffield's quite small. And we'll mess around with some of the settings as well, and the date and time and things like that. So here we go.
Tower Yorkie 12 Bravo at runway 20 ready for takeoff straight out.
And what will happen is, this is actually, you can turn off the blue guide sort of things, but the aircraft will automatically taxi its way onto the runway. And we've got the cruise speed, max altitude, endurance, range, and things like that. Tells you the visibility, the time, the wind, the altitude. We'll click ready to fly. And here we are on the runway. So let's just make sure I've set some views up as well. So the way that I have it, the views in the TBM are very simple. In fact, it's the same with any aircraft. I use the control key and basically the numbers 1 to 9 on the keyboard. Not the numpad, just the normal number line. So this is the pilot view. Control 2 would be the sort of dash cam or GoPro. Control 3 would take you up here. Control 4 takes you down here. Control 5 would take you onto this sort of like the... in normal terms it would be like the FMC, but I've just set it up to these two displays here. Number 6, Control 6 would take us to the sort of throttles and everything. 7's just out the window. And 8 is to the MCP. And this is the general setup that I've always had in a lot of my simulators from when I've used X-Plane, P3D especially, in Chase Plane I've always used these views. You've also got, if you move the mouse around a little bit, hover over this little icon here, and you can see we've got all these options. We can bring up the ATC menu and read what they've been saying. We can choose the camera option, which will allow us to switch between cockpit, external, and showcase, which I'll go on to in a minute. Just get rid of that. But first of all, I mean, look at this. Let's just go back into the cockpit view, external in fact. Look at this. Look at those clouds. And look how beautiful the TBM is. The scenery is. I mean, this is not a very accurate rendition of Doncaster Sheffield Airport. You've probably seen Doncaster Sheffield in my videos from P3D, so you'll be able to see that it's not quite accurate, but no doubt somebody will be making an add-on type of scenery for Doncaster Sheffield in the near future. But look at those clouds, absolutely fantastic. So once you're actually in the aircraft, what I like to do is I'm going to talk about this this camera system. So we've been to the internal cockpit, and it's pretty basic in here. You can sort of, you know, pan around. The arrow keys will move you left to right. You can switch around, and then if you switch or press Control 1, in my case, it takes you back to the sort of pre-saved camera there. The key may be slightly different on your system when you get the simulator. I've set it to Alt and then whatever number to save a preset camera, and Control and then whatever number to load that preset camera, but I don't think that they are the default options, so you might have to look into that. B sets the altimeter. Very, very simple. Same as it is in P3D and other simulators like that. And yeah, so you can see the cockpit's really nicely modelled. Bear in mind this is a stock aircraft. I really like that. Checklists, so we've got, the next one across is checklists. We've got inside inspection before starting engine start all the way up until shutdown again, which are automated checklists, but it does also give you the option to manually switch the switches and do whatever you need to do. But there is an automated option as well. Basic controls, this will tell you sort of if you're using a controller or the mouse or the keyboard, etc. Or this is the Thrustmaster HOTAS 1 system that I'm using, and this actually splits into two. So I've got the throttle quadrant on the left of my desk and the joystick on the right. Very, very nice and comfortable is this particular joystick. I'd highly recommend it. And again, back to controller. So that's your basic controls. AI control, we've got assisted checklists, so that means that basically it will do everything for you, if that's what you're into. Manage radio communications. Now, with ATC, the default ATC, this only really works if you've got a flight plan that's loaded into the aircraft, which we'll go into that in a future video. But it allows basically the same as what Pro ATCX does for me in P3D, which is it will automatically contact the tower. It will automatically confirm instructions and things like that. And you can also set the AI to automatically control the aircraft. It would literally take off from Doncaster Sheffield and land wherever I had in the flight plan all on its own if you wanted it to do that. If you wanted that virtual flight experience of actually somebody else flying the plane, not you. If that's what sort of thing you're into. Next, we've got fuel. So again, you can change all of these things on the fly, which I find to be very, very useful. Again, gallons or pounds. You can see the fuel's gone down a little bit. It's 49% now because we've had the engine running, but there we go. Nav log. So this basically shows where you've come from, where you're going to, the distance covered, etc., etc. You can reset it as well. Start the stopwatch and reset the stopwatch, which is handy. Objectives. This is only really if you're on one of like the challenges or something, or one of the missions or tutorials. The objective will be shown up there. Travel to. Again, that's just if you've got a flight plan set. VFR map is just literally what it says. It's a VFR map, which is the same that you've got here. And weather. So let's get into this. Let's have a look at this weather. Let's go to an external view. And let's just take a look at this weather. So, at the moment, this is real live weather. It's not real live time, but it's real live weather. And I can switch it anytime I like. So I can go to clear skies. I might want to change it to just a few clouds. I could change it to scattered. It's quite nice. Broken. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. So high level clouds, so they're obviously all the way up there. Overcast. That's a pretty nice looking set of circumstances right there. Obviously you can see a little bit brighter up there where the sun's meant to be. Rain. Now I like the rain because look at the runway, look at the reflections on the runway and all the effects. If we go into the cockpit as well, we've got absolutely amazing rain effects on the windshield. You can hear it as well. And it just looks so real. Like the visibility and everything has gone way down. It just looks absolutely fantastic. If we go back to an external view... By the way, you can click the End key on the keyboard and it will take you between the internal and external views. Go back to weather. Let's go to snow. Now this is one of my favourite. Look at this. One of my favourites, should I say, not favourite. We've got some snow that's appearing on the runway, which is good. And look at this. All of the surrounding area actually has snow on it. It's not just a case of you see the snow in the sky and that's it. The trees, the ground, the runway, and even to the fact that the aircraft itself inside will start to have sort of icing effects as well at some point. It's very, very accurately depicted. Let's go back to weather and go to storm. Now this will show you some amazing lightning, if we can see any up there anywhere. It'll come about at some point. The wind sock as well, in case you hadn't noticed. If you zoom in, you might be able to see it. Whoa, do you see that then? Can't quite see it. What I will do while I'm at this is I'm going to show you the drone mode. So we'll set it to autofocus. This is where the controller comes in. I'm using an Xbox One controller attached to the PC. I'm using the right analog stick to move the camera around. Look at that. I'm just waiting to capture some of this lightning actually. The left analog stick will move the camera around like this. So you can sort of go forward and back, left and right, and then move the camera direction like this. The right trigger will go up, left trigger goes down. It's not actually going to show me any lightning on the... Where's it coming from? It's up there somewhere, I don't know. Oh, did you hear that? Wow, that's amazing. But anyway, it's up there somewhere, you just can't see it. The good thing about this camera, this drone camera, is you can go anywhere you want. So I could go all the way to the other end of the country if I wanted to, and it wouldn't make any difference whatsoever. I've got no limitations. The aircraft will still be there. The scenery will still render perfectly fine. And you can see even in stormy weather I'm getting 60 FPS. Bear in mind, of course, that this is a default aircraft in a default airport. But still, it is looking absolutely fantastic. And this drone camera is truly fantastic as well. If we click the left bumper, it will tilt us left. The right bumper will do the same thing. But look at this windsock. This is what I wanted to show you, the windsock. And there is a way to travel faster as well. You can actually set the speed. Let me just go to camera and drone speed. There we go. So I can move a lot faster now. But look at that. Very, very realistic. Even up close, if you can get close enough without... There we go. Reasonably. And we go high up in the sky. Up into the clouds. I wonder if we'll see any lightning. Maybe not. Not really possible. But look at that. I don't think we've ever seen a scenario where the weather has been so accurately depicted at the same time as looking so fantastic as well in any simulator. We've got the trucks going around the airport, or trucks and vehicles and things like that. Look at that. Even they have their own sort of reflections on the ground. Again, I can swap up the weather anytime I want. So let's go to live weather again. Absolutely loving the drone camera. I'm going to go back to the aircraft, and because I've got auto zoom on, have I got auto zoom? Auto focus, yeah, I've got auto focus. I can go right up to the aircraft. Look at this. Go right up to the aircraft, and it will focus on the aircraft and blur everything else out. Absolutely fantastic. I've got the speed set a little bit high, but you get the point. We can go over here and just look. Don't know what that truck's doing. But this is all very accurate. It's not very detailed up close. As you can see, there are things missing, such as there should be a road here, but obviously it's not depicted correctly. So the sim's not 100% perfect, but again, as I keep saying, this is a preview build. But yeah, you can just see how fantastic everything looks. And because I've changed to live weather, the windsock animates accordingly. So that's blowing, well, not even blowing at all, really. Sort of calm winds at the moment. Now, one of the other things that I love is time of day. So let's go up to the weather tab, and we can just literally click the slider. So I'm going to go to sort of like 6 AM, no, maybe 5, half 5 in the morning. Maybe 20 to 6. Look at this. Look how amazing this looks, especially from a distance. I love the controller idea. It's going to bring about so much ease when it comes to making videos and like scenery reviews and stuff like that, and aircraft reviews. But look at this. Absolutely gorgeous, first thing in the morning. It really is a sight. Look at that. Now you tell me a simulator where you can get visuals as good as what we're seeing right now. Let's just keep an eye on that sunshine. And let's just continue very slowly. Move it across. You can see the sun goes exactly where it's meant to go. It's up there in the clouds. You can move it now to sunset, which is obviously going to be quite similar, but it's over there this time. Absolutely magnificent. And I will obviously be making videos in some other airports and other areas, even if it's just cinematic videos showing off how amazing this really is. I really don't care. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's just bring the sun up a little bit. There we go. So you can just see it there. Absolutely magnificent. The runway lights look amazing as well. And let's just take a look at what the aircraft looks like. Absolutely gorgeous, look at that. What an amazing view. So what I will do then is we will go to full darkness, to like maybe 11:30 PM, and this is where things are going to get really good. Look at this. This is obviously going to look better in a sort of a built-up area where there's more to see, but you get the idea. Look at this. The night lighting is just phenomenal, and again, I can go wherever I want to go, even into one of these little sort of villages and towns and things like this. Bear in mind, I live in this area, not in this particular area that you're looking at now, but look at this, absolutely magnificent. All the houses look absolutely brilliant. We've even got, look at this, TV effects going on outside somebody's house in the window. How amazing is that? They are repeated a little bit, you can see. They are sort of repeated, but who cares? Just look at it. It's like a virtual tour around your own street. We've got vehicles there. And like it's not just a flight simulator anymore. It's a go anywhere and do anything you want simulator. Like a real life simulator. Absolutely brilliant. Again, I must point out that I am ever so grateful to my good friend Dominic Smith and the team over at flightsim.com for allowing this to be possible and allowing me to show you guys this amazing simulator in all of its glory. Again, it's not 100% perfect, but it is still good. I mean, this is a roundabout. This is supposed to be a roundabout. You can see we haven't got all of the roads that we're meant to have or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is, again, if I just want to go back to the cockpit, one thing I can do is just reset position, and we are taken straight back. And the weather I'm going to set to around, there we go. Right, so I'm going to put the controller down. We're going to go inside the cockpit. Just go to cockpit, there we go. And we're going to pretend that we've been given clearance. I think we were given clearance quite a while ago, but we decided to have a bit of a route around. So I'm going to put heading hold on. I'm also going to put the flight directors on, yaw damper. I'm going to set the altitude to 2,000 feet. Vertical speed, we can climb at 1,000 feet per minute. Again, this is not how you're supposed to fly this aircraft, and I'm not very skilled, but we'll make it work. I'm going to release the parking brake. I'm going to increase the power. I'm going to have a look at how amazing this particular simulator looks. Again, I do get the occasional stutter. We've got 52 FPS at the minute in a stock airport and stock aircraft, which is expected. But there we go. I'm going to rotate. I'm going to bring the gear up. Like so. That's a bit of a steep climb there. Let's just arm the autopilot. Let it do its thing. And it will now sort of take us to wherever we want to go. Now, again, when you're in the air, depending on where you're going, things might get a little bit hairy. So the autopilot is not perfect in this aircraft, or in any of the aircraft for that matter. But it works, it does the job, it sort of gets you from A to B if you really wanted to. Again, I'll be making more videos on sort of the ins and outs of each aircraft, and I'm trying to get to know this particular aircraft a little bit better. But there's various bugs, such as the rocking motion there. Maybe it's a little bit too rocky compared to what it would be in real life. But yeah. Again, the purpose of this video is literally just to show off the sim. So frequency change is approved. Now, as I said earlier, I've not selected manage radio comms, so that means that I need to manually bring up the ATC window and acknowledge, or I can press number 1.
Tower Yorkie 12 Bravo frequency change.
And notice how it says Yorkie 12 Bravo. It says exactly what we've put in to the call sign. So there's no more worrying about whether, you know, such as in Pro ATCX, whether you've got that particular call sign in memory, or whether you have to, you know, find an external pack or something to make it say that. It's all in there. It all works fine. It's just text to speech, so it's perfect. But there we go. So let's just have a look at some alternative sort of time. Let's turn the time to maybe like, let's go full darkness. Let's go to night time. We've got flashlight mode on, and I don't know how to turn that off. There we go. Bit better. So it's still a bit buggy, but overall, 52 FPS, 50 FPS in the night time, and we're looking at a GPU temperature of 66 degrees Celsius, and CPU is 62 degrees Celsius, with the settings set reasonably sort of high. I've not gone for ultra because I just I don't see the point, because honestly there's not much difference, and a lot of people have said this, between sort of medium to ultra, believe it or not, in this particular simulator, and you have to sort of believe it to see it, or see it to believe it, should I say. But look at that. Look how magnificent the area looks on the ground. We've got the moon up there as well. We've got like the dead bugs, or the bugs hitting the windshield there as well. That's a realistic effect. And again, we're all on autopilot, so we don't have to worry, but absolutely cannot believe how nice this looks. I've just raised the flaps as well, because we don't need the flaps out now. But you can turn the brightness down of these. I'm not entirely sure. It's up here somewhere, I think. Panel. Yeah, you can turn them all down if you wanted to. But that is basically it. So I wanted to make a short but to the point video introducing everybody to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Again, this is going to be a series that I'm going to try and do of all different sorts of visuals, different scenarios. I might try and do some manual sort of landings and VFR flights. But I'm absolutely, I can't get over it. I can't get over how gorgeous the sim looks, and I'm so excited to be able to bring it to you and show you guys truly what we're dealing with in the next generation of flight simulation. So that is it. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Look out for many, many more, especially once the actual full version of the simulator is released, because obviously the full stable version will finally be within our clutches. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave me a like if you enjoyed. Remember, you can always suggest areas that you'd like me to look at in the simulator, and I will be more than happy to oblige and try and make as many videos as I can on this brand new sim. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.